people in India. So we are, half the company is actually in India. And we're doing a lot of innovation. We were the first one to do voice over LTE, voice over Wi-Fi. So just at a high level, I think I have seen now migrations from 1G to 2G, 3G to 4, 2G to 3G, 4G, and now we're moving on to 5G. It's very interesting actually, if you see all the previous transitions, they were all about coverage and giving connectivity to people so that you can actually make simple, basic phone call. And then over time it became just having a little bit of more data. So, but now the 4G to 5G, as Matthew pointed out in his slides, is going to be more about not only just communication, which is one piece of it, but how do you actually have the whole rest of the industry use wireless connectivity, not only just to have connectivity, but also their whole productivity and performance being reliant on having the wireless connectivity. So yesterday, I guess in the main panel, we saw driverless cars and somebody driving a car. So just imagine that when you're driving a car and somehow you lose the connectivity and you're going to be sitting in the middle of the road, right? So obviously, it is much more beyond just communication. But just from where we fit in, from our point of view, we obviously have done a lot of work in the core network. So we provide virtualized core, and we have over 300 million subscribers today worldwide, which use our platform. But over the last 3 years, we have been investing a lot in the radio space, and that's where I see actually the innovation part of it. Because see, in the past, all the 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and I'm worried even 5G, the way I see this conference and the way others see conferences handled, very soon all the big vendors make it like a box play. That okay, just buy 5G boxes and put them in 50,000 places, and you get coverage, and you're done. So basically, the innovation of an operator stops when you pick a vendor. So after that, it just ship boxes, install boxes, and you're done, right? So there's no innovation after that. But now it's going to be about how. Let's say I was just looking at how to find a good example. If there's a bulb up here, if I want to change this bulb to go from 60 watt to 100 watt, right? I can just change the bulb. Try doing that on your base station, right? Going from a 60 watt to 100 watt base station. You will do an RFP, you pick a new vendor, that vendor will completely rip the whole thing, and I'm just giving you a simple example, but at the end of the day, if the wireless connectivity has to become, it's everywhere, and I saw Mr. Mani yesterday say that we want to provide the wireless connectivity at the highest quality everywhere, right? For that to happen, it's not that, okay, I want to change the bulb, I have to hire an Ericsson engineer who's going to come and he's going to change the cable and change the panel and change everything. And that's the only way it's going to get done, right? So what we are actually focused on is changing the actual ecosystem of how the radio will get done, right? So making it more software. So we're working with some of the chip companies, Intel and others to actually do it more software. Then also how the radio gets designed and how it gets distributed. Because in some ways, if this whole industry is going to be dependent on 3 or 4 vendors, it's going to break on its own. Because now the demand is so huge, there's so many other industries relying on it, that if just think of the highways were only going to build by 3 builders or 4 builders, and you want the whole economy relying on those 4 builders, they will just die on their own. So that's what we believe, that unless things changes, either the operators will become, for example in US, there's a new initiative on unlicensed spectrum and CBRS. So governments will say, okay, I don't need an operator anymore because there can be independent players who can build these things. And I'll just give spectrum to those people rather than to these operators. So either these operators have to now start thinking how to go beyond their box culture and think it differently, or they'll be totally irrelevant in the next 5 years.